Hello! I'm feeling a little bit weird because I've just had a shave and a haircut too, so I feel a little bit naked around my head, which is weird because I'm wearing a jumper and jeans, so I'm pretty warm down here too. It's a whole crazy confused layer of emotions here. Also, I'm in a bit of a pickle because you know how wardrobes usually have two doors? Well, mine currently looks like this. So there's one door off the hinges and then the other, and my wardrobe just casually opened because I thought that's something you guys like to see, you know, like Zeppelin G 1993's wardrobe, YouTube exclusive and all that. Seriously, the last thing you want when you're doing proper adult stuff like applying for jobs, sorting out bills, is for your wardrobe door just to come off the hinges. Just like that. I'm just sitting there typing away, and then boosh, with a bang to my left, I jump because I'm like, whoa, you know, bit of a shock. It's not something you usually expect to see, and there it is. Just, that's where it is now. So that was a couple of days ago that happened. I just left it there because I'm that practical. I just think like, you know, well, it's happened now. I might as well just embrace having one wardrobe door. You know, I'll be that guy. I'll be that guy who just has one door in his wardrobe. That'll be my little quirk. My little, oh, you know, that's Jack. That's Zeppelin G 1993. He has one door in his wardrobe. Why? I don't know. That's the thing. That's what being a real person is like. It's just having one door in your wardrobe. Basically, this house that I'm in, the landlord bought it shortly before we all moved in. He basically did it up so it still smelled of fresh paint when we moved in. And he just bought loads and loads of furniture from IKEA and just put it in all our rooms. Like we got in and we had like little clocks and little things to put our photos in, little frames. And then we had this wardrobe which had been hastily put together, which meant obviously he hadn't done the best of jobs, and the blooming doors come off. I've still got like the screws, and I've got a screwdriver now as well. My housemate's got one. I tried putting it back together and wasn't successful, obviously. So current man rating, 6 out of 10. You know, because, well, I didn't flinch too much when it came off, so I'm giving myself a few more points for that. But what can you do? Anyway, Freshers Week is now coming to an end across the country, unless you're doing like 2 weeks because freshers are just mad like that. I swear most of September now is freshers. It seems that any excuse we give ourselves, have a drink, we will take it. Like St. Patrick's Day. Everyone uses that as an excuse to get merry. I'm amazed they haven't embraced like St. George's Day more for that. And it's like when Scotland was almost about to go independent. Everyone was like, hang on a minute, if we give Scotland their independence, surely then they'd get like an independence sort of day? That means even more drinking? So yeah, pretty much Freshers Week embodies what everyone thinks about students, about them being their old and they love to drink, and at least for that first week, that's what it's all about. And so you're now coming to the end of it and you're probably hating alcohol and you'll never drink again. And when you mean never drink again, you mean for at least a few hours before Saturday, because Saturday is just also known as drinking day. Read it backwards. That was a lie. And it's the first time in 3 years that I'm not doing Freshers Week. And I'm a little bit sad about that actually. When you're a graduate, 9 times out of 10 you'll start doing the 9 to 5 straight away, and then you can't go out till 4 in the morning every day for a week and get utterly twatted as much as you might want to. To be honest, at the moment I can't even contemplate 2 nights out in a row, let alone 5. I just don't know what I've become. I'm an old man at 21. Who'd have thought it? Says he wearing a knitted jumper. In any case, you sometimes hear people saying, oh, I wonder what I would tell my younger self, knowing what I know now. So I've decided I would say a few things that if I could, I would say to my fresh-faced first year self. Try saying that 5 times fast when you're trolleyed. Firstly, I would have said to myself to get more experience in my chosen industry in first year. Of course, thinking about your future plans for after you finish university when you're just about to start doing it can be a little bit daunting, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of forward thinking and, you know, kicking things off early. Having said that, I would also say to my younger self that you haven't got all the time in the world when you're at uni. 3 years goes really, really quickly. The more I look back on it, it was an absolute blast, but yeah, it's shot by. I mean, I went down to my university's Freshers Fair, which has just been happening at my old uni over the last couple of days, and I couldn't believe it. That happened last year, so it was a year ago, and I felt really nostalgic about it for some reason. It was crazy. But when I went down to mine, I signed up to literally everything. I had so many emails afterwards from all the different societies that I could join, and in all honesty, I wanted to give as many of them ago as possible. But suddenly I found myself having 4 clubs on each night of the week, and obviously I haven't got Hermione's Time Turner or a TARDIS to use to go to them all. Man, life would be so much easier if I had one of those. The thing is, you have to accept early on that you only have a limited amount of time, and you can either do loads of things and be really average at them, or you can do a couple of things and really ace them. I tried out loads of different things, and in the end that was great because I then could choose the ones that I really wanted to pursue. And in my ideal world, I would keep doing all the things I did do in first year, but there's 24 hours in a day, not 240, unfortunately. Sort of tying in with that, I would also say to myself to make the most of my time that I have with my friends, because there were a few times that I did shy away and just got on with work. And of course you go to university to study, that is the main reason why you're there. Not for drinking, blimmin' No, you're actually there to study. But at the same time, you know, you've got to embrace this new way of life that you're living, and you should make the most of your time with your new friends. University is the perfect time to meet new people, and I understand that can be tricky, but at the same time, because even though you might want to meet new people, you're also a little bit nervous about how to go about it. Maybe you're not comfortable with interacting with completely new people. Because that's pretty much what Fresh is all about. You go into a room and you go out and get drunk with people that you didn't know the week before. People who are just strangers. What you have to remember is that pretty much everyone, 99% of people in your halls, are in the same boat as you. So just embrace it and go along with it. The downside of doing so many different things was that I was always busy. But as a wise lad once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around for a while, you can miss it. God bless Ferris Bueller. Also, in my second year, I found some amazing new places just from going out and exploring and trying new things. And looking back now, I wish I'd started exploring and trying new things like that earlier. Quite an important one now. I didn't think that I would have enough time to hold down a job at university, but now that I'm out the other side and having to, you know, embrace all kinds of things along with the sort of, you know, earning money on a full-time basis, you know, I realised that I could probably have fitted it in. I mean, since finishing my degree, I found quite a few flexible job roles which would have been perfect for me during my time at uni, trying to earn some money, you know, alongside studying all the time. Studying all the time, he says, that's a good one. I mean, there are some people at uni with jobs, and it might seem to you like all they do is work, but there are some job roles which only have a couple of shifts a week, which are perfect for you to fit around your education. And then my final thing that I would say to my fresher self is to ignore all that and scrap all that advice, because firstly, you can't go back in time, so there's no point dwelling on things that have been and gone. And most importantly, you shouldn't get bogged down with worrying about what everyone else is doing when you've got to think about yourself. Everyone has different preferences, and in going to university, you have chosen that you're following your own path. I mean, unless you've gone eeny, meeny, miny, mo with making the choices, you've had to take all kinds of factors into account, and you've come to your decision because of how it will affect you in the future. So, it's your decision for how you spend the time at uni. Why should you listen to what everyone else has got to say about it? First year, more than anything, is about finding your feet, and to be honest, yeah, I did do a fair bit of bossing about in first year. But if I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have worked so hard in second and third year to make up for it. And I think you need that. I think you need that time just to sort of find yourself and just have a bit of freedom. Yes, it's dossing around, but yes, so what if you do that for a year? It's 1 year out of your life. Enjoy it. Whatever you do, make the most of it. I promise video game walkthroughs will resume in the near future. But apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed Freshers if you're at uni. If not, I hope you've enjoyed September. And I'll see you soon. After 4 weeks of hard work, I needed a break. People actually do 9 to 5, Monday to Friday of every week of every year. Just how do they cope?